guys, this is Bree from Clay County Conservation Board. I am your Clay County naturalist. Today we are exploring about a habitat. What makes a habitat? Now habitat, all animals have to have a habitat for them to survive. If they do not have the four needs of a habitat, then they likely of them surviving is very unlikely. So habitat is an area where they can be found. So if we talk about humans, our habitat is our house. That's where we can be found, our house, our apartment, whatever it is. And we have those four basic needs to survive. Now animals, they can be found in a certain area. Can you guess what habitat I am in? Now, if you listen, if it will sound, and also see where what habitat am I in. Just take a minute here or a second and figure out. So I have tall trees. I have tall trees. I have a lot of birds in this area. Woodpeckers hitting onto the getting insects and acorns in the trees as well. And I don't have any tall grass. What habitat am I in? If you guessed the forest, you are correct. So forests, they have trees, they have low growing plants, and forests, they can have a lot of trees or with a lot of acres or just some trees. Now a forest has to have trees, and some animals are only found in a forest. With like the wood turtle, it is only found in the forest. It cannot survive in the tall grass prairie. It only can be found in the woods, the forest. Hence its name, the wood turtle. So the habitat that I'm in is a forest, but it has those four basic needs. Does anyone know what a habitat needs to make sure the animal survives? Think to yourself, what does an animal need? Does it need food? Yes, of course it does need food. So what would an animal eat if it is in the forest? If its habitat is in the forest, what would the animal eat? Yeah, it would eat berries from it would eat berries, it would eat plants, it would eat some bark or trees, and it also would eat some grubs down into the dirt as well, or the soil. Okay, what else does a habitat need? So we have food. What else does it need? Does it need water? Yes, of course. Now forests, a lot of our forests in Iowa, they do evolve around a river. Now a forest doesn't necessarily need a river, lake, and because that's another habitat as well, but animals can get their water from the plants that are in the forest, the trees that are in the forest, and also some streams nearby as well. Okay, so we have food, water. What else does a habitat need? What else does a habitat need? Yeah, shelter, exactly. So shelter, a habitat needs a shelter. Now we say, oh, a forest is a shelter, but it's actually where the animal lives. So you can see the burrow, or actually the hole in the tree. The hole in the tree, let me move it real quick a little bit. There we go. You can see the hole in the tree. That is this animal's shelter. Now I've been seeing raccoon tracks, so I'm assuming that the raccoon that's living in here, that's their shelter, and raccoons do live in a forest. Okay, a shelter can be a burrow in the ground or a nest in the tree. Squirrels, they use the forest for their big nest in their tree, the big leaf nest that's in the tree. Wood turtles, they burrow down into the ground underneath a tree. Also raccoons, like I said, possums use a burrow in a tree, but also like owls, they use trees as well in the forest. So we have food, water, shelter. What else do we need? What else does a habitat need? Can you think of it? We got food, water, shelter. If you said air, of course that's given. Air is always provided, and air is always there. So what some things that may not be always there that a habitat needs? We have food, we have water, we have shelter. If you guess space, you are correct. So space, animals need space. Now, like us, we need space too. That's why we have backyards or fences to say this is my space. Or that's why we have a certain apartment or a house to say this is my space or this is my room. Now animals, they need space. So if they're a bigger animal, then they need bigger space. If they're a smaller animal, then they just need smaller space. So like a worms, they need smaller space than a bald eagle. Bald eagles need a lot of space. Like a mountain lion. Mountain lions, they range, their home range, where their habitat is around where their areas could be up to 50 miles. So they need a lot of space. Like a ladybug needs little space. Mountain lion or bobcat needs a lot of space. So to make a habitat, it is space, food, water, shelter. So I am here exploring one habitat that we have in Iowa is a forest. I have a mission for you to decide which other habitats do we have here in Iowa. Do we have a desert? Do we have mountains? Do we have tall grass prairies? Do we have wetlands, ponds, lakes, rivers? So I have a mission for you to figure out what habitats we have here in Iowa. And also I have a mission for you to go out to explore a forest. Go with your family and get some fresh air and explore a forest. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and we will see you later.